right? And then, of course, how far up does this go? Because if this went to this guy Joe's, the whistleblower's direct supervisor, and then it went to the assistant director, and then the director, and whoever, and then it just gets squashed, and then the dude gets fired. Oh my God, this is like a classic. You terminated someone that was a risk to your ill-gotten gains. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dark with DLD After Dark. This is almost impossible. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, the ATF is the only agency that just provides their own material for scrutiny on a regular basis. This is crazy. I just dropped a video about an official ATF leak, and what do we have? But a week later, another ATF leak. But this one is different, okay? This isn't involving, doubling in size and, this and all that crazy stuff we typically talk about. This is a little different. Allow me to explain. So, a whistleblower is accusing the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives of fraud. What? Of fraud, waste, and abuse. So, I actually got this from a mainstream media article. This is all alleged, okay? And a viewer sent this to me. So the fact that I have an ATF leak before John Crump, man, we're winning. So fraud, waste, and abuse. CBS News was told the alleged practice could potentially involve hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars. Hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars across multiple federal agencies. So now we're not just talking about the ATF, okay? The whistleblower said some at the ATF in administrative jobs, like Susie Q at the front desk, were paid a special bonus that is reserved for active field agents that are, I'll just read it. They were paid a special bonus at the agency known as Law Enforcement Availability Pay. So what that means is that if I'm a special agent, it's called LEAP, L-E-A-P, it's an acronym. These people were all getting paid LEAP even though they were not eligible for LEAP. Allow me to explain. Government regulations stipulate the bonus is reserved for criminal investigators, so like armed field agents, who are on call and expected to work unscheduled and or additional hours. So if I am an armed investigative investigator and I'm on call and I work odd hours or unscheduled hours or additional hours, then I am entitled to a bonus. So this whistleblower named Joe, who asked to be disguised and to withhold his last name and all that, told CBS News that he noticed problems at the agency, with the ATF, almost immediately after he began his employment there. Interesting. You hire one person with integrity and boom, everything just blows up. He began working there in 2016 as an information specialist in the Human Resources Department. If you were functioning in an administrative capacity, you did not qualify for the pay, the LEAP, the Law Enforcement Availability Pay. You are not supposed to get it. Susie Q at the front desk. He said you're not supposed to get it. A lot of people were getting it. Nearly 100 people were getting it outside of the 1,700 field officers that we're talking about here. The pay is a 25% bonus in your gross annual income. So let's say, for example, if you make $100,000, then boom, your bonus is $25,000. So throughout the year, I don't know how they disperse it, but throughout the year, your gross annual income would be, in that case, $125,000 with LEAP. If you are a law enforcement officer that qualifies for LEAP, not Susie Q at the front desk. And if there is a girl named Susie Q that works at the front desk and be ATFE, sorry, this isn't about you, I promise. Joe said he flagged the alleged violations to his supervisors immediately. In an ATF email reviewed by the mainstream media CBS News, indicates Joe's supervisors were upset. They were actually pissed off that he found it and brought this to him. They were upset about what he told them. So the whistleblower Joe shared personal records with CBS News that indicate his performance. Like every time he had a performance review, they were 100% fully successful. Okay, I guess that's like a grading scale that they have. Like fully successful and unacceptable performance at the bottom. So he shared his personal record stating that his performance reviews were all 100% fully successful. Before he made the complaint about what he, flagged as potential fraud and brought to his supervisors, which I would imagine would likely be the director of the ATF and the assistant director of the ATF and department heads and blah blah blah. Like this is corrupt, y'all. Allegedly. After he made the complaint, his performance review immediately went to minimally successful. After that, he lost his job that summer and was fired for, quote, unacceptable performance. Interesting. The moment you bring alleged fraud and misuse of taxpayer dollars, you are canned and terminated. So last year, a lawyer for the Office of Special Counsel said that the investigative body found a substantial likelihood of wrongdoing. So they're trifling, is what they're saying, allegedly. An Office of Personnel Management, and it concluded at least 94, so nearly 100 employees were inappropriately classified specifically for the purpose of getting this LEAP bonus. So nearly 100 personnel were getting an extra 25% of their gross annual income from taxpayer dollars, from your money. You, right there, you paid for it. Oh. The office suspended the ATF's ability to create certain jobs for no less than 6 months, saying that the Bureau may be engaged in prohibited personnel practices. And these are the types of agencies that we're supposed to allow to govern our, oh man, this is just mind-boggling. They have the ability to impact our rights that are given to us by our Creator, by our God, by your God, that are supposed to be guaranteed to you by the Constitution. And they can't even manage money. And I mean, if this is true, this is all nefarious and malicious. If this is true, then this is a very significant amount of wasted tax dollars, American tax dollars, said former Senate investigator Jason Foster, who spent his career supporting whistleblowers and reviewed all of CBS's findings. For one time in my life, I read a mainstream media article. It could be a waste of hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars if the same thing were happening throughout other government agencies, within other agencies. Interesting that they would mention that. A guy who has dedicated his entire career to protecting whistleblowers says that this could be happening in other government agencies. Interesting. And then they say 4 federal agencies involved in Joe's case outside of the BATFE declined to comment because of the ongoing investigation. An email from the Office of Special Counsel, reviewed by CBS News, said the final report is delayed, citing broad implications for the ATF. Bro. Okay. So basically, what happened is the ATF has the ability to increase a field officer's pay by 25% of their total gross annual income. If they are working, if they're on call and they're working additional hours, or if they're working, odd hours or unscheduled hours, right? If they get a call and have to jump out at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning like that, that's reasonable. If you have created that, if that is budgeted, that's reasonable, okay? Now, the moment that you start misusing that and you start paying that to Susie Q at the front desk and whomever, like all throughout the agency, I mean, you're talking 100 people. Like, my question would be, how many individuals are at the Martinsburg, West Virginia location? 100 people, right? And then, of course, how far up does this go? Because if this went to this guy Joe's, the whistleblower's direct supervisor, and then it went to the assistant director, and then the director, and whoever, and then it just gets squashed, and then the dude gets fired. Oh my God, this is like a classic. You terminated someone that was a risk to your ill guys that you did. And this is what money, I'm telling you, money will. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. That's it. Guys, I've only found one article about this. I've talked to a couple people who have sources inside the ATF, and let's just say that these things that are being alleged may not only be true, but this may span multiple other agencies, at least 4 other agencies within the United States government, and we could be talking about multi-millions of dollars that are being fraudulently paid to individuals and mismanaged, and basically taking your tax dollars that you work for and throwing it in the trash. Slam dunking it in the trash. This is crazy. Can't believe it. Actually, I'm not going to say I can't believe it, because there is absolutely nothing that can surprise me in 2021. So, guys, again, it's dark with DLD After Dark. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Every time we get an ATF leak, we're going to blast it out there. And, man, I'll end it on this. Be kind. Always be kind. Live a life of care, contribution, contribute to others, be compassionate, and always make sure that you're focusing on becoming highly skilled in violence and being the most dangerous motherfucker that you possibly can be. But of course, only for the sole purpose of self-preservation. So, be safe, be dangerous, keep that thing on you. Peace out, y'all.